In this video, I'm going to show you how you can connect your GoDaddy domain to Railway. So if you've already deployed an app on Railway, you now want to connect a custom GoDaddy domain. This will show you everything that you need to do. So once you're on Railway and you're on the dashboard, go ahead and click on the project you want to connect. Then click on the project again. Mine is a very simple to-do list app that I've deployed from GitHub. So once you've clicked on the project, go to settings in the top right hand corner, then scroll down and you'll find networking. From here, you may or may not have a subdomain from Railway. What you need to do though is click on custom domain. Then we can go ahead and add a custom domain here. And obviously we're going to GoDaddy and we're going to find the domain that we already own on GoDaddy. So go to the products page, click on your username in the top right, then go to my products, and you'll find it. So I'm going to connect on searchbasedmethod.com. We'll do this one. So if I go ahead and click on it, we can then go ahead and connect it, and it is very simple and very easy. So once you've clicked on your domain, go to the domain section on the left here. And then once you're in the domain section, you then want to go to DNS, and we need to get into the DNS settings of our domain. Now let's not get ahead of ourselves, but we do need to add a DNS record shortly. First though, we can copy the domain name, and we can just enter it in here. So I'm going to type www. Paste in the domain. Then you need to enter in a port number. So by default it is 8080. But if you've used a different framework to code your app, then you need to use the port number which is associated with your framework. I'm pretty sure that you know what port number to use depending on what framework you've used to code your app. Because mine is a very simple to-do list app, it's just HTML code, I'm going to use a default one which is 8080. We can then click add domain. Now what we need to do is go to the DNS records. So on the back end of our domain, we click add new record. And what we need to do now is add this CNAME record. So this is very easy. We need to connect a CNAME record, www, copy this value. So we go to our domain, and now we need to enter in a CNAME record. So if you've got any records which might be conflicting, go ahead and change it. Now if you get in this error where you can't go ahead and delete any other records, you might be on a name server that isn't the current or the default GoDaddy name server. So just check that, go to name servers and make sure you're on the default name servers. So if you are, you're going to go ahead and then click add new record. We need to go and connect a CNAME. For the name, we'll type in www. And for the value, we will paste in the value here from Railway. CNAME, www, paste in the value here from Railway. CNAME, www, paste in the value from Railway, click save. Now if you get this error message which says that your record conflicts with another record, we can go ahead and cancel it, and now it's going to let me delete the conflicting record. So because we're adding a CNAME www record, we want to check this and we're going to simply delete it. So we're going to go and click on the trash can icon on any conflicting record. So we're going to need to verify this on GoDaddy. Okay, so once we've verified and we've deleted this conflicting CNAME record, which was CNAME www, we can now finally go back and add a new record, and we'll do this again. So I'll run this through in case you got confused there. We're using a CNAME record, name www, and then we'll copy this value by clicking on this icon. CNAME www, paste in this value, and we'll click save. This should then add it no problem, providing we have no conflicting record. We are going to need to verify again with phone. Okay, so after you've done that and you've added this record, you can now go back to Railway, you can click dismiss, and you just need to refresh. Now you're going to need to be patient and wait for the DNS servers to propagate. Now this could take up to 72 hours, so be patient. But to be honest, in all of my cases of doing this, it takes around 20 minutes. So you need to wait for this to go green and for everything to be confirmed and verified. Now it's still showing the CNAME record that we had before and that value. So it's going to take a second just to verify everything here. Just making sure though we have got this CNAME www record added going to Railway. And the previous one that was conflicting we have deleted. That's why it is important to delete any CNAME www records that are going to conflict and send or connect the domain somewhere else. Now let's just wait. We'll wait about 10 minutes and then I'll be back. Okay, so that took about 15 minutes, but it seems to be working now. It goes on and off from green to not green. But if we just copy it and then we go to incognito, When we paste it in, you can see now it goes to my to-do list. Now, one thing to note, we've just connected here www.mydomain.com. But if your customers or any traffic goes to the root domain, so in my case, searchbasedmethod.com, it isn't going to work. And that's because we need to go ahead and add the root domain as well as a custom domain. Now, if you're on the free plan of Railway, you can only add one domain, so you're going to have to mess around with redirecting the domain. So what I would recommend is upgrade just one plan up. It's going to cost $5, and then you can add 2 domains to one project. This will allow you to go and add a custom domain. You can then paste in your root domain, enter in the same port number, click add domain, and then you basically need to follow the exact same steps, but just with a CNAME. So go CNAME, at, and then copy the value. So here we'll go add new record, we'll go CNAME, at, and then paste in the value and click save. By doing this as well, it should then add another value. Now, in our case, the CNAME isn't working. Now, if for some reason it doesn't let you add that record because GoDaddy just has to be awkward, then what we can do is we can go to forwarding, and we can click add forwarding, and we can forward the root domain to www.yourdomain.com. Then you can click save. So now our root domain should forward to the main domain, which is connected. So that is the workaround. Look, GoDaddy is honestly one of the worst domain registration companies out there. But as long as you've got this here, you're forwarding your root domain to the full domain, and then the full domain is connected. You can go and delete if you've already added your root domain. Now everything should be working. You're just going to have to wait for the DNS servers to propagate here. And yeah, just double check that your main domain is working. It is. And then just wait for your root domain to work as well in 48 hours. So that's how you can do it. I've got other tutorials as well showing you using different registrars that are a lot more user-friendly than GoDaddy. But if you want to go ahead and move your domain to another registrar, it is going to be probably better in the long run. Thank you for watching, and I hope that video helped.